preacher, and you know that. Everybody else wouldn't want that. So you, boss man, oh man, don't cut me. You gonna cut me off, boss man? You go, oh my goodness, you gonna fill up the masjid for, oh Lordy, Lordy, Lordy. Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you very much. And that's what's happened. And that's why remember, everything is from Allah. But to know yourself and know what you got in you and know that you have to be brave. You have to be brave. You got to say, I have people that they have stuff in them and they just try to hide it. You know, one of my favorite persons I watch is Abdul Malik. He has certain things in him and he want to keep them hid. He don't want you to know that because he don't think it's, you know, You can't hide it, hell, everybody can see that. People gonna find out what it is sooner or later, especially your girlfriends and your wives. They gonna find out in about an hour and 10 minutes. I don't care how much you cover it up. And if you get out of line, that's the button they're gonna push. Right? I mean, that's why, anyway, it's a long story. So, now, this idea of happiness in the good old days, we just talked about that. I have 7.5% here. 7.5% is right in the middle between 10% and 5%. So at this period, what we're trying to do is, from the Negro community, is 7.5% commitment. Anywhere between 5 and 10 is fine. Commitment means that everybody should keep their job, keep doing what they're doing, but boss man cannot recognize a shift of between 5 and 10% commitment. It's not enough. And if the Negro graduate 1%, 2%, 3%, 4%, and they graduate to that point of 7.5% over a year or 2 or 3, boss man can't notice the shift. That means a level of cooperation, And according to our estimation, we can whoop the pants off boss man with that level of commitment. People, hell, keep their job. They should keep their job or do what they do. It don't make no difference. And that, I don't believe is asking too much. After all, hell, it's everybody's life is involved. They got wife and kids. They got families. Hell, you don't trust them the boss. Hell, boss man, it won't be another 2 weeks. I mean, he'll be here, but it don't look too good. I mean, and there's nothing we can do. We've been saying this all the time. But sooner or later, you realize, maybe now, for the last 100 years, you realize even when you can cut off the ring with boss man, when you get agile and when you get to all that stuff, evolutions, revolution, global transitions, and all that stuff, it takes organization and movement. It takes people, it takes people. And the good thing about it is, if the people are consciously committed to it, because some people get frustrated and they use like Creflo Dollar in it, Creflo Dollarism. You know what I mean? And see, and if you wonder, how do the lying Negroes get all the money and all the publicity and all of that? So if you want to help people, I'm not going to do that. They can keep it. You know, if I'm already happy now, I don't need to be any happier. So I'm not. If the house is full, I'm happy. If the house is empty, I'm happy. It don't make no difference. So it takes a long time to learn. I am not going to change what seems to be a functional evolutionary system. That every time you get to a gate or a fence, the right wind come along to boost you over, or it's the right step is there to help you step over. You know what I mean? Okay. And so this number of 7.5% is enough. So, hey man, this is a big deal. It's not only a big deal, but it's a good deal too. Is it a little air? I mean, a little heat? Are you? Well, a little bit warm. Maybe just push it up a little. I mean, I could feel it more because see, I'm sitting here. You can see this wind blowing here on my feet, but it looked like everybody getting a little chill, huh? Well, anyway, uh, this is a crucial thing. This 7.5%, and this is like not only this is across the board. This is one of those we're using standard numbers now. We've always said that we expected that there's a certain amount of the federal government that are pulling for us. I mean, for the last 40 or even more years, I could always feel it's not the devil and the angel, but I could always feel the presence of forces. You know what I mean? I could feel the presence of forces that they're making a certain amount of cocaine available because they feel if we and that's so there. There's another group there. They're saying they all police. Let's just kill this nigga and get it over with. And that's their discussion back and forth. I'm not seeing it, but I've been feeling the presence of that conversation for decades, at least 40. I would say close to 50 years, maybe even a little more. I've been feeling the presence of that because I've always realized that I was always on their screen. You know what I mean? That I wasn't like invisible and that ain't nobody paying no attention. Okay, so anyway, yeah, just push that ball on up. Sometime when you click it off and click it back on, it'll kick in. Yeah, but anyway, uh, this 7%, 7.5%, uh, we have here Negro commitment. And, well, it's okay. We'll just freeze through it with it, you know. Yeah, he was changing the filters, but it worked for a minute. So what? We'll just freeze to death? It worked yesterday and it just worked. And it worked today. Yeah, it just worked today. Technically, that don't make no difference. If you remember way back, we sit up in here and froze to death. And 97, 98 and all that, and they put the pole up. They were supposed to come November and put the pole and the 6,500 we paid them to put the electricity so it would push that machine back there. And they didn't come. And they came right now in the spring, yeah, when we didn't need it. And we froze to death that winter, boy. And the poor little kids was running around here bumping their heads. Remember when they used to bump their head? I used to say, oh my God. It would sound like watermelons, you know what I mean? You know when they hit they hit the concrete floor and go pop like God. Dog, he's not dead. He's not. Oh. And the kids, you couldn't stop them. As soon as they hit that door, especially when we got the carpet in here, it was like a big gym. I could imagine how big this, and all they did, they started running, and they would never stop. And then when we get there to get in the line to pray, okay, they'd try to be quiet for a minute. But as soon as we lined up and said Allahu Akbar, they know that's a sign. There ain't nobody gonna break ranks to catch us. So they, alhamdulillah, it was lively here. No, the kids loved to come to the masjid, and the school, people hated to leave. Anyway, we'll speed up since the consumer news or news makers. We have to be both. Some people are news consumers. They're always watching the news. So we believe in both of them. We have to be news consumers to get the feel for wherever the day-to-day feel. Although we don't technically need a lot of news because we have a formulated program, and all you have to do is go back every now and then and check where you are, how fast you're going. You know what I mean? But to explain the present, you have to consume a lot of news. But not only consume news, but now we have to do more news making. That's what we're getting in like we went through periods of news making before. But we just take it easy a while. Now we'll be back to news making in combination with news consumers. I was going to talk about some of this stuff, but it is getting a little chilly. Manufactured famine, wheat, oil. Hey, man, just think about it. Russia is 42% of the wheat and everything come from Russia and Ukraine. And from those, all the countries need it, especially African countries. They need it, okay? And the U.S. is telling everybody, y'all sanction them and y'all starve to death. That's what it means. Including the Europeans. Hey, I got some gas over here. We get you some stuff like that, Plus, you don't need much now. The winter's almost over. But they still got to cook. They got to do this. And the petrol prices will be equivalent in Europe to $10 a gallon. There's so much a liter. They getting close to $10 a barrel over there. I mean, $10 a gallon. How can you do anything? Like imagine a person have a regular job. How are you going to get your car license? How are you going to pay your rent? Years ago, when I was paying rent was 1/4 of your salary. Right. If you paid $100 a month, like, in 65 or $110, you made on your job $100 a week. Yeah. So it was 1/4, 25. Now they tell me it's half plus. And what are people going to eat? And then it gets cold and you got all these, good God, if you're over here, you got to pay the gas bill. If you're out in California, you got to pay another bill, the transportation bill, $6 or $7 a gallon for gasoline. Good God Almighty. It's a money grab, but see, that's what accelerates it because the people get to feel, hey man, the rich are getting richer and they're sucking us dry. So you don't hear all of this, we love chip, chip, chip America anymore. People saying, man, these forever wars that y'all done got us into, and everybody come back crazy. Everybody, and 22 people a day dying, and they all veterans from some dumb war? No. Okay, that's a manifestation of defects. Manufactured famine. So wheat has got to go up for bread. Oil is already, this is the first time it's been over 100 and it's over 110, and one of them is 120. The sweet oil is 120, and you don't know what it's going to be tomorrow, but it's going. That's expensive. When everybody was cruising along last year at $60 a barrel, and now it's double that. Plus, oh no. And Sam's still talking out the side of his mouth. And everybody, like they used to say, they're going to sanction everybody at all those people's expense. The United States is not going to suffer. It's got Kansas, it's got wheat, right? It's got that old cheap oil.